Today is not an ordinary day in my life. Today, I get to redeem my tickets for the best seats ever. No, it's not for some sporting event or some concert. These tickets are to redeem seats that were in the Astrodome.
Hey, how are you?
One can?
Uh-huh.
Your choice, red, yellow, or orange?
Orange. Here we go. Gonna go inside Reliant Arena and pick up the seats. It's kind of interesting. I'm not doing this because I'm some big sports memorabilia collector. I'm just trying to do this because this is my chance to capture my childhood. Something good in my past with my grandmother watching baseball at the 8th wonder of the world, the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. How you doing?
One orange. How are you doing?
Good, how are you? The Astrodome opened in 1965 and was the home of the Houston Oilers and the Houston Astros baseball team until 1999, when the last pitch was thrown during a divisional playoff game with the Atlanta Braves. Got it? Cool. Thank you, sir. The Astrodome was not just a sports arena to me. It was a refuge. It was a place for me to get away from the life that I knew was pretty tough as a child. I was raised by a single mother who did everything possible to make my life normal. But when our air conditioner went out and we couldn't afford to fix it, we came down to Houston to stay with my grandmother. And she would take me to the Astrodome to watch her beloved Astros.
There you go. Thanks, sir.
My grandmother taught me a lot in those seats. She taught me about patience, determination, resilience, teamwork, and strategy. It was a time that we were captured for 3 hours, just her and I, talking about life and cheering on our favorite players like Jose Cruz, Nolan Ryan, and Mike Scott. After leaving the arena and picking up my seats, I just could not leave. I just wanted to stay for a little bit and look at the Astrodome and remember all the good times that we shared there. I looked around and I started to realize I wasn't the only one. So I thought I would take the time and ask others how they felt and their best memories of the Astrodome. It was a special time for all of us because it is our chance to have one last seat at the Dome.
Favorite memory was the opening season of the Astros, coming up here with my cousin and the dads. And I wish I could tell you more about the game. It was just such a event that I was young. I think 11 years old, and sitting at the game of the opening season at the Dome was absolutely probably the most memorable time.
Probably my best moment was the first division championship when the Astros won it in the 90s. My wife and I were able to go out on the field and get some of the dirt and, you know, celebrate on the field.
My favorite moment about the Dome would be being dropped off as a kid, and my dad was on the Houston Rodeo Committee, and I'd get dropped off and I could just walk in without a ticket, just tell him who he was, and they just direct me to where he was at.
One of the other great moments was lovely Blue Days during Monday night, Dolphins, Oilers. I was a huge Oiler fan, but even a bigger Larry Zonka Dolphin fan, and ended up crying for hours after the game. So there's been many years of you know, between the rodeo and seeing Elvis and being out here for different Oiler games and gambler games and stuff. So
getting a piece of these seats is a great experience for me to have, is something that we shared together and he passed on to me and that I'm continuing to do today.
Pretty much it's been, I feel like a little kid. I've been nervous and excited all day, not knowing what I was going to get, what color, what's going to be available, and those butterflies all day. Even right now, it's just I'm in awe and disbelief that I was able to get these and that I'm sitting here right now. I'm happy that I was able to experience it. That my son wasn't old enough to experience the Astrodome or know the history of the Oilers. I love the Texans, but it's different. We don't have that history now of all those years of 40, 50 years of history of football here, and now we're in the American League for the Astros. So I guess it's a bittersweet kind of day.
To have something like this torn down as history for this city, as the first dome stadium, 8th wonder of the world, to go by the wayside is very sad. And
I think it'll be a parking lot, and I hate to say that, but it just is what it is, I guess. It's things are moving too fast for everybody, and I'm just grateful that I get to take a part of it home with me forever and be able to share this with my kids someday.
I hope that the dome stays. I don't know.
Earlier in 2013, crews started demolishing parts of the Astrodome, including the ticket offices and the ramps that led up to the upper deck. This was a part of a plan that was to renovate the dome and create it into something new. It was a proposition that Houstonians had an opportunity to vote on so they could save the dome. But sadly, the proposition failed, and it left the Astrodome without a fate. There are no immediate plans to demolish what was known as the 8th wonder of the world, but it's only a matter of time unless a better plan is made that may save this landmark.
The beautiful thing about this stadium is it transcended over certain generations or several generations. It wasn't just a kid or a guy in his 20s. Anybody, any age, they all came together as one, as a fan of the Astros, as a fan of the Oilers, concert goer, as a rodeo goer. This stadium represented so much happiness and so much spirit. It's really difficult to understand how something that's brick and mortar can do that. We're very lucky. We have some pretty awesome facilities here in Houston. You got the Reliance Center and the Minute Maid Park, Toyota Center. Nothing will compare to the Astrodome.
The dome is an engineering marvel that can never be repeated. It was first in many ways, including being the first indoor stadium, the first ever to have an animated scoreboard, and the first to have indoor grass known as AstroTurf that changed the way we watch sports today.
I hope we can keep it. I hope we can live to be able to tell stories and not just show pictures, to actually take our children and touch the stadium. I hope what they're tearing down just only helps improve it in the future, but the structure itself stays. And the only way we can do that is we as fans who are passionate about this dome can spend time and create an idea and a plan that works and that everyone accepts. History does not always have to crumble. It can be preserved. And I hope we can do that.
I just had one last thing that I had to do before I left. It was time for me to take my last seat at the dome.
Five, four, three, two, one. Fire in the hole!